Welcome, everyone, to Blood and Guts Dynamite After Dark. Without further ado, let's hit that music. Where the hell's the music?
Well. You know what that explosion means. That blast of pyrotechnics that you see on your screen here on YouTube signifies that we are at another edition of Dynamite After Dark. As you can see, I am not JFB. I did get a goatee kind of like him, but I am not James from Boston because James from Boston is from Nashville and he was at Blood and Guts. But I am the effing expert. You can call me Mr. Isaacs. Hello, everybody.
And I'm, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm your blood and glass champion. Cut me, baby.
Ooh. Blood and glass champion. That is fantastic.
Well, what about Staples?
I like Staples. The prices are really high there.
Ba-doom-ts.
Yeah, they tried to put The Office out of business. Dunder Mifflin.
I didn't
right
put
below
local
me,
paper around everywhere.
right below me, wearing the Just Keep Fighting shirt, the U.S. hero himself. Go ahead and introduce yourself, on sir.
I am the EVP of everything AFW. I'm EVP Joe. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Very good.
Doing well. We got some blood. We got some guts. Drinking some water, not blood.
All I'm going to say is this blood and guts match is the perfect prelude to what I'm going to see tomorrow at 3 p.m., which is Deadpool and Wolverine. I am pumped, and I can't wait to see it.
Well, let's go ahead and introduce our number 4 man here. We are not a threesome. We are a quadsome, foursome, however you want to put it.
Or a fearsome
Everybody, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am the man, the myth, the legend. I am Lord Orion Rich, and I am here to bless you all with my presence once again.
You brought us presents?
Yes, me.
Oh.
So quick question before we get started.
Yeah.
Not the original Four Horsemen. Would you say we're like the 90s Four Horsemen? You know, a different iteration.
But I'm not Mongo.
Well, I'm sure as hell not Ben Wall.
I don't want to be part of the Four Horsemen.
Okay, how about this? Like the second 80s, like the one.
I would be okay as Malenko in the Four Horsemen.
Are we going to be the horseman that was Barry Windham, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, and Tully?
Wait. How about this?
Yeah,
I'll be Bret Hart. He can be Owen. You can be the Anvil, and you can be Brian Pillman. And we'll be the Hart Foundation.
Hey, I could just sit here and do this all show.
I was going to. Yeah, you can be the Anvil if you want. I love that he did that.
Time for a change.
What was that, Joe?
I said you're definitely the Anvil with the goatee.
Yeah, I got the Anvil going. I got to grow it out a little bit longer. He's got some inches. He had some inches on his.
Yeah.
Could you see yourself doing that the Jim the Anvil Neihard goatee?
Yeah, I could probably pull that off. Give me a few months, I could probably do it. Not saying I'm going to, but I don't want to be a single man forever, guys. All right.
Yeah, if you have a wife or a girlfriend and she's cool with it, then that's a different story, right?
Here's what I found, and this is just my anecdotal experience here. Women seem to have very polarizing opinions on facial hair. It's like they either
That's
absolutely love it or they absolutely hate it and are disgusted by it. Like there's not really an in between.
I think it's the women who love the dad bod love the facial hair. If they don't
Yeah.
love the dad bod, then they don't want the facial hair.
I had a girlfriend who demanded I shave off my soul patch immediately.
Oh wow. See,
I've been like, yeah, see the door. Goodbye.
my ex, the first time when I was with her, and this was like over a decade ago, the first time that I shaved my face completely, like she literally cried. Like I'm not kidding, literally cried. So yeah, suffice to say, she was a beard fan. So yeah, so it's like they either love them or hate them.
Every time I do something funny here, the wife is never happy. Never.
So gentlemen out there, single gentlemen out there, when you do meet a female that you like or a guy you like, you know, whatever, no judgment here, whatever. Find out if they like beards. Because if they do, grow one. If they don't, and you like them a lot, shave it off. Because it could be a deal breaker.
See, I never grow a beard on purpose. It's just I forget to shave, and here it is.
Understood. Because I mean, shaving is a pain in the ass.
It is.
It really is.
But it's so much easier when you have a beard because there's so much less to shave.
And sometimes when I don't feel like shaving, I'll be like, well, I guess I can just shave here and call it a day.
There you go. Absolutely.
That's right.
All right, guys. We are here for
call
blood.
backshaves.com and have them come over and shave your face for you.
Oh, backshaves.com. Yes, there's sponsor.
It's their subsidiary faceshaves.com. Right. All right, guys.
So I'm gonna leave it to Lord Ryan Rich today.
Okay.
To come up. He can ponder this. What our Adrian Adonis Flower Shop item is going to be that we're gonna say our favorite thing of.
Okay.
Please
On the clock,
Ponder
Mr.
that
Lord.
Hey, can you give us more than like a 2-minute heads up, please? Because
Yeah. See if you can come up with it by middle of the
That's
show.
not a problem. I'll give it to you right now. Favorite holiday meal.
Oh.
All
So
right.
any holiday.
Any holiday, whatever meal you like for that holiday, tell us why you eat it for that holiday and what the meal is.
Now, are we talking about like does it have to be the main entree or like a side item?
Whatever
or
you
what?
want, dude.
Just whatever
The
part of
world
the
is
meal.
your oyster. Like if
Yeah.
you're Jewish and you eat Chinese on Christmas and that's what you like best, and you say that.
Like a Christmas
whatever
story.
it is.
Yeah. All right. I got you. All right, gentlemen, blood and guts. Let's go ahead and get into this. We kicked it off on, in my humble opinion, a sour note.
Oh.
Because why is Alex Marvez on my TV screen?
I'm right there with you.
Like, this guy is the worst on-screen announcer in the history of professional wrestling. To do my Schiavone voice.
Well, they hired Brian Cage's wife to do some bad.
Yeah, but none of those people are dudes, and that's why Marvez got the call. Because if Will Ospreay stole a woman's car, it would look real bad. So Marvez was really the only
steal
choice.
a car. He tactically acquired it.
Whatever. I'm just saying.
Well, what happened
There's
here?
a power dynamic you have to look at more if it was a female.
Just to kind of discuss what happened here. The opening scene came on with Ospreay, who's wanting to go to the arena, and he goes up to his car and sees that he has a knife in the tire, presumably from MJF, but we don't know for sure, I guess. Marvez is there. For whatever reason, Marvez isn't at the arena, and he
It happens to look a lot like an arena.
He says some some BS to Ospreay, and Ospreay's like, "Don't you have a car, bruv? Where's your car? Do you have a car?" And
it's over there.
so
Conveniently
Marvez is
there,
just
right
like,
by it.
sure, the hell with insurance. I'll let the strange British man drive my rental car.
Well, hey, Mr. Isaacs, I'm gonna have to one up you on this, okay? My wife is an auto claim supervisor for an insurance company, and as long as you give permission for that person to drive your car, they are completely 100% covered.
Oh, there we go. So Marvez does. He just sucks. He's at
Or
least
you know.
smart when it comes to rental cars. But, anyways, he gives them the keys, and oh my god, this is the cringiest, worst thing I think I've ever seen on Dynamite. They get in the vehicle together, and Marvez, stone-faced as hell, with absolutely zero charisma or acting ability whatsoever, says, "Have you ever driven a car in America?" Osprey's like, "No, bruv." And he goes, "Oh."
That's why this would have been so much better if you would have had anyone but Marvez doing this.
I mean, this is the by God.
You could have had Renee Paquette.
They should have had Jim Ross.
Get this.
Oh, Jim Ross would have been awesome with this.
Yeah, Jim Ross would be like,
Oh,
"What the
God,
hell
Osprey,
you
what the
doing?
hell you do on my truck?"
What the hell you doing, boy? You
Jim
know how to
Ross
drive a
would have taken
American
it over.
car?"
He'd have taken over and be like, "My God, what are you doing?"
Oh, God, you're gonna give me a stroke, Osprey.
Guys, look, I know Marvez is like buddies with the Cons because he's an NFL guy and he's a Jacksonville sports journalist. Get him the hell off of this television show. He is absolutely awful and he ruins any segment he's in.
They just hired Brian Cage's wife, Melissa Santos. They hired Alicia Atout ever ago. We haven't seen her.
She's really good.
For the first time, I think we have Eric points on the show.
Hey, what's
He
up,
says
man?
I would have loved RJ City in this.
RJ would have been great.
Like AEW has some people that are really adverse to doing that. Like they're really good. Like
Matt says I'm a real American.
Okay.
Matt B is a real American. He was watching that RNC speech with Hogan, was just like, I'm just feeling the love, man.
Did they play the I'm a Real American song for that?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Speaking of which, I saw a meme and I shared it in our group. They said, imagine showing someone not accustomed to the U.S. presidential process, and all you see is Hogan doing this. They'd be confused as hell.
It's interesting, man. We live in some wild
it's very
time.
wrestling related because now we got Kamala running for president.
Hoping Papa Shango is going to be your VP.
The Ugandan giant shall be president.
I think we should probably glaze over the whole political thing here, guys. Let's get back to it.
Kimchi is vice president? Come on.
Could you imagine the press secretary is Kimchi? Just comes with the stupid mask and the safari hat on.
Mr. Fuji's in there too.
Mr. Fuji from Fox News.
Mr. Fuji's putting powder in people's face.
You got Jerry like spraying mist in everyone's face.
We got Eric with Downtown Bruno as VP.
I don't know who that is. So
isn't that from Borat?
Is it?
Sacha Baron Cohen does have a character called Bruno. That was the gay character.
Yeah.
That always like played on people's homophobia. Yeah, Bruno's a funny movie. It was. If anybody hasn't seen it,
it's pretty funny.
So let's talk about this opening segment here.
Yeah, so once we get Osprey driving off, we get MJF coming out to the ring. He's got some like scantily clad, like patriotic cheerleaders, I guess, with him. And he comes out to the ring and he cuts this promo. And, I'm not going to go over the whole thing here or anything. Harvey Whippleman is Downtown Bruno, isn't he? I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
You get downstairs and get my phone.
I just know him as Harvey Whippleman.
Yeah, I always just knew it was Harvey Whippleman, too.
Harvey Whippleman, women's champion.
Huh?
Yes.
I just remember when Harvey Whippleman had that overly gigantic camera and shot a fireball into, what was it, Bret Hart's face? Or was it Hogan's face? I can't remember.
I think it was Hogan.
Yeah, it was
I don't
Hogan.
even remember
that's right.
Brett really getting a fireball to the face.
Yeah, it was Hogan.
Brett's
yeah.
too excellent to get a fight.
I was like, that doesn't sound like something Brett would be okay with.
I think Brett would be like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah.
Fire to the face, Vince, and I'll punch you.
Brett's like, "That doesn't work for me, brother."
I mean, to be fair, Brett had enough product in his hair; it probably would have caught fire. We don't want that.
Yeah.
So we got
He looked
MJF
like
out
Hogan
here.
after.
He's talking about Ospreay. He takes shots at Ospreay's dead grandmother.
Could have did without that.
Says Ospreay is going to be buried next to her, and it's like really far away because she's such a fat bitch or something to that effect.
Yeah, that was quite the. I'm shocked that Will Ospreay okayed that.
These guys love bringing up dead relatives. Like it's become like a norm now. We got Tiffany in the house.
It's our friend Tiffany. Hey, yo, I just finished the show. That's our picture of talking.
Friedman says he beat Ospreay without breaking a sweat. It was the easiest match of his life.
I absolutely love this about him.
He talks about the AEW International Championship, buries everything it stood for, and he ends up revealing that he has a belt now. It is the American Championship, and literally threw the international belt in the garbage, a la the WWF Women's Championship that Medusa threw away. And
it looked like on the side plates there's something about I'm better than England and you know it or something.
Yeah, better than the UK
like,
and you know it.
Best country in the world or something like that.
And then the other side was something about MJF was the best.
He's playing up the UK hate so they don't cheer him, but they're going to anyways. At least when he comes out.
Since he's facing Ospreay, they may not.
I don't think they're going to boo him when he first comes out, but I don't know.
I feel like MJF was doing a bit of Trumpism here. He's like, I'm not even the one saying it. People are saying it. I'm not saying it.
I think it's just kind of a New Yorker thing. You know, that they always kind of make it like everybody knows it. You know, like you hear a lot of like New York commentators say stuff like that when they it's like
they're very braggadocious bunch.
Yeah. Everybody knows it. You know,
you have a fan in the background there, Rich.
I know. He came and brought me my phone.
Awesome. All right.
He's here to stay.
Well, he just had his 10th birthday, so.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
My daughter just turned 7 on Friday, so.
Oh, happy birthday to her as well.
Thank you. We've got a lot of July birthdays around here. Mine is on Sunday. So we have a bunch of summer babies.
Yeah.
Yours is on Sunday, so the 28th?
Yeah, mine's the 28th.
That is my sister's birthday. She'll be 40.
I'll be 41. I'm exactly 1 year older to the day.
Yes.
Than Lord Ryan Rich's sister.
Yep.
Eric says, honestly, that title looked like the best U.S. title ever. It was a pretty nice looking belt.
I thought it looked good.
It was so good. I wanted so bad.
I disagree. Wholeheartedly disagree with it being the best U.S. title ever.
Oh, I don't say that. I'm saying I wanted
it. It was a pretty belt, though.
The WCW U.S. title is head and shoulders better. The IWGP U.S. title belt, I think, is better than that belt. That belt, when I first saw it, my wife was like, this company, he makes so much money. Why is it so fake looking?
Because
I think it was
rude.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think this belt is going to be around long.
No. It's a placeholder belt.
That's what I told my wife. I was like, the whole thing is it's supposed to be ugly. It's not going to be around long. So,
yeah. So when somebody takes that from them, that's going to be gone because it's probably going to be a European that takes it from them. And
I won't be surprised if Ospreay takes it back.
I think Will's going to win.
That's what I think too.
To get that
yeah, you're not going to not have Will go over. Which obviously makes more sense now why MJF beat him. But that means we're going to get MJF and Pac before then too, because he's the #1 contender.
Well, towards the end of the promo, Ospreay jumps in through the crowd and attacks MJF. Gets on the microphone, starts talking some shit to him. Says something about, "Oh, you reached into your pots next to your little dick, bruv, and got out the knuckles." Out or whatever. And of course, MJF plays it up as the fans start chanting "little dick." good stuff here. Good work from both of these guys. I thought this promo was good. MJF is fire. He cuts a heel promo like no other. Ospreay coming out. I liked his intensity. I like what he had to say on the mic in return. I think his personality and his charisma is like really coming through a lot here lately, and I like that. So I'm a fan of this promo. EVP Joe, what do you think of this?
I loved everything about this. This is the MJF that is peak MJF. Complete douchebag, just complete asshole. I loved the fact the U.S. flag fell down and the stars were replaced with his face. That got a good chuckle out of me. And it really is we saw this charismatic side of Ospreay about a year out before leaving New Japan. If you go back to watch his Wrestle Kingdom match with Omega and some of the interviews that he cut there, during either post or pre-show, you could see he had this in him. And it's nice that he's getting to do it to I would consider a much wider audience in New Japan.
Yeah. Can't F and draw.
Yes, this is a nice touch that they did one better than Lance Storm when he made it the Canadian Championship and they didn't just put a sticker over top of it.
Yeah.
They actually went out and made a brand new title. I think this is the way to do it. Really piss those UK fans off and get them booed.
Real quick, it is fitting that this is done to Will Ospreay, because if you don't know, in New Japan, Will Ospreay made the IWGP US title the IWGP UK heavyweight title.
Yeah, so this is
very fitting.
So they're playing off that for sure.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, EVP, but that's a great point. They are kind of playing off of what he did with that title. Lord Ryan Rich.
Then they announced that All In, we're gonna get Will Ospreay versus MJF, and this almost main event, like semi main events.
Yeah,
for sure.
This is double main event with Swerve and
all due respect to Pac, this is a bigger match than Pac and MJF.
So what did what they did with Pac here? Like, what did they?
They weren't really clear that Pac is getting the match at All In.
Well, they did during the
four. They said he was the number one contender.
So that doesn't mean it's All In.
Well, no. When they did the 4-way match, they said they put up a graphic that said he was getting a shot at All In, which makes me think they just changed it, which is fine.
Maybe
because all of us have criticized TK for not changing for a better story, and now he's doing it.
Yeah. I mean, this is way better than Pac. I mean, with all due respect to him, this is the match that needs to happen, and it needs to happen at All In.
And maybe they were going to do a 3-way. They might have been, but this is the better move.
Anyways, we got to move on, fellas. Ryan, Rich, what are your thoughts real quick?
I feel bad for Pac just for the timing of it all. It just kind of, hey, what's up, son? I'm just I'm sad that Pac got the legs cut out from under him, because every time he comes back and tries to get some sort of momentum, something, mostly injuries or visa issues, have weighed him down. And it really stinks, because I just think back to Revolution 2020 and Pac and Orange Cassidy, and I think about that match and how amazing it was. And I know what Pac can give. And I think that, he's talking about his Wembley moment and everything else. And, I don't know. It stinks for him. But as far as the promo goes, it was vintage MJF and it was outstanding.
Can I just bring up one more thing before we move on that I was thinking?
Yeah.
What makes this title belt even better is in a week and a half, MJF is going into Mexico with this U.S. title belt to defend it at CMLL. Nice. And the fact that he's going to have this belt that says United States is the best country in the world is going to get him so much nuclear heat. It's going to be great.
Tiffany says, I'll have to watch this MJF promo because my son refuses to sit through promos.
Uh,
I'm not a promo guy.
Tiffany, you sit him down and you make him watch every Lord Ryan Rich promo that has ever been.
he's like,
This
this
is
is
what we gotta have.
AEW,
We
damn it.
gotta have the sons watching the show, making
Oh, man.
comments.
What's up,
I
buddy?
love this.
Oh well,
Yeah,
Connor wanted you to know that he did watch tonight, so he's like, tell everyone I watched it with you guys. So I was like,
I
all
love
right.
this. We got Roman here. We got Connor. This is cool.
Heck yeah, man. This is a family affair here.
The next generation of AFW and all effing wrestling, baby.
Hey,
Imagine you and Roman versus
Hey.
you and Connor, tag team titles.
I was going to say maybe in a year or two, junior division of AFW.
Oh,
Heck
here we
yeah.
go.
That would be
Hey,
awesome.
we let in what's his name when he was 15 years old. So
Who's that?
Hunter Rayner,
Oh,
who's now a professional wrestler.
Nice. All right.
wow.
And we all thought he was lying because we said, "Oh, sure, 15-year-old's a wrestler."
The Elite are backstage without Hangman Page. They're standing over a beaten down Christopher Daniels. They just whooped his bald ass right there in the middle of the locker room. And
You know what I didn't like was they didn't really explain it.
No,
That
They're
was
just like,
kind of lame.
we just don't like him anymore. We're just going to beat him up. And then they do a coin toss. Kind of looks like they rigged it in their favor.
Oh, yeah.
But
Matthew shows it. It's definitely a double-sided elite coin.
so they end up winning the coin toss, which means they're going to have the man advantage throughout all the match until the very end,
Which makes
is
all the
actually the
sense.
beginning.
I hate when they do these kind of matches and the good guys have the advantage. Makes no sense.
Yeah, it's definitely, you got to have a heel advantage here. I mean, that's just how this should work. Now we've got match number 1. Chris Jericho defeated Minoru Suzuki to retain the For the World Championship. And wow, if you want to watch violent chops for like 5 straight minutes, this is the match for you. And I typically am not a big fan of that, but I thought this was entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed this. Minoru Suzuki, like Jericho's chest already is kind of sunken in looking. It probably
Even
sunk
more
2
sunken in
inches.
now.
And it was like pouring blood, and it was all red, and it was
looked
just
like he put a picture up on Facebook that said he got chopped over 100 times and a broken finger.
And he broke his finger, yeah.
And on top of that, his chest looks like raw hamburger.
This is one of those matches to me. This is not a work rate match. This is just a fun, entertaining match.
Yeah.
They slap the hell out of each other, hundreds of times. They worked the crowd really well with spots on the outside and everything. I mean, these two worked off each other so well. Like, I was really entertained by this. I liked it a lot. Of course, Jericho won. I don't think anybody on earth, surely nobody in our league thought Suzuki was going to win this. Because Jericho, Jericho slayed all. But Lord Ryan Rich, I'll start with you this time, brother. What do you think of this match?
This was very reminiscent of how Suzuki and Kingston did this like 2 years ago, where they started out a match, and I think it was like chops for like 5 straight minutes. Like, they even did it through the commercial break with Kingston and Suzuki, I think, where they were just chopping each other the whole commercial break. It was wild, but I think it was awesome. I love it when they do stuff like this, especially with Suzuki, because he just plays it off like you're not even touched him, and he's just like, but like he's got so much, I don't know, scar tissue or whatever it is here. It's like like sour's thumb. He doesn't feel nothing, and he's like, oh yeah, go ahead, chop over. And then he gives you one. It's like blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I'm surprised at the learning tree. I didn't know that they were banned from ringside, but I guess that meant because I was like, why aren't they coming out to help him?
I know. I and probably everybody else in the league said they thought the learning tree was going to interfere.
I didn't. Like I said, I didn't know they were banned from ringside.
They announced it last week when Suzuki came out. They said the learning tree, everyone is banned from ringside for the
That
match.
doesn't mean anything, though. They'll run out from the
That's
crowd or
so
something.
counterintuitive to a FTW rules match. There are no rules, so how can you do that?
I just thought for sure. I was like, all right, even if they're banned from ringside, they'll pop out of nowhere, out of the back or through the crowd or something, and it's no DQ.
Exactly.
And
You got Big Bill hiding out in the bathroom, peeking out there.
Big Bill's gonna be like, I'm gonna beat all their asses.
I'm done pissing. I'll kick some ass.
Speak to like the 5 minutes of chops. If anyone sat down to watch this match between Jericho and Suzuki and thought they were getting a technical classic, you need to go drink more because that was never going to happen.
You
were just
more to get
brutal
clarity.
match.
GM Joe, Eric kind of has the same sort of facial structure as you. He could be your long lost Canadian brother.
He's the Canadian hero.
Is the Canadian hero versus
He's like a Canadian. What if he was like a Canadian military vet and
he's Bizarro World GM Joe.
It's Canadian Joe.
Yeah.
AVP, I'll go to you next. What'd you think of this match?
Oh, I have like I said, like it was fun to watch. Like 2 minutes in, Jericho's bleeding the hard way, like not even blading. I mean, my only problem is like I'm not really down with Suzuki getting like 90% of this match and then just losing out of nowhere. I'm not a fan of those kind of matches. But other than that, it was fun. Like this whole night just was
pretty hard.
What was that?
He got hit in the balls really hard.
Yes. He got a good nut shot for sure.
That's what took him out.
Canada effing dry. What'd you think?
I love this finish. Just nails him with the balls and hits him with the Judas effect. Loved it. I don't know why. I just got a kick out of it.
To retain the For the World Championship.
Yes, for the World Championship. Noob says, speaking of Jericho, guess what? Natalia Markova is going to be on the Jericho Cruise 6 on the beach.
I saw that. Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed this match. I found it entertaining. I enjoyed the slaps. Like, how hard do you have to hit someone to make them bleed?
Yeah. I mean, a chop to the chest.
They're not called knife edge chops for no reason.
Yes.
Good grief. I tell you, man, Suzuki and like some of those guys from Japan, like
I think he won the Forbidden Door, didn't he?
He didn't wrestle.
He won the Forbidden Door tag team match.
What? Let's see. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah. Suzuki's typically just there to get a crowd pop and usually put somebody over.
Yeah, I think for sure he won some tag matches.
Well, because he him and Jericho and Sammy with the Sex Gods won, I think, before.
Yep, that one too. I think he's won a few tag matches. That's about it.
Yeah. Suzuki almost never wins a singles match. Like, even when you see him in Japan, he usually loses to somebody. He's putting over one of the heels.
That just goes to show that you don't really need to win to get over, right?
Everybody just loves Suzuki. Yeah. Murder Grandpa. So after the match, Suzuki hits Jericho with a Gotch-style pile driver. Brian, Keith, and Big Bear will come out and attack Suzuki. Katsuyori Shibata arrives to make the save. Takes down both Keith and Bill, who end up retreating. So, Joe, do you have something you want to?
Suzuki has 2 singles wins, 2 trios losses, 7 singles losses, and 1 trios loss.
Okay. So he's at about like a 35 to 40% win average, right?
Like you said, he's there for the song and for the pop.
Yeah. He's there to put people over, which, I mean, the guy's like, how old is he? Like 55 or something like that? I mean, he's up there.
I mean, he's got the nickname of Murder Grandpa. So
yeah. I mean, he was an MMA champion in Pancrase in like the very early 90s. Like,
does he have a Murder Grandpa t-shirt?
I don't know. I don't know if
They
Suzuki
should have a
has
murder
shirt.
grandpa t-shirt.
He should.
If there is a New Japan, drop the ball on that one.
Yeah, really. Really. All right, moving on from there, we are backstage with Renee. Where was Renee earlier?
Yeah, Renee.
We don't want to see Marvez, Renee.
She was
That's
at
what
the
you're here
arena
for.
when she was supposed to be.
Renee's backstage with the CMLL Women's World Champion Willow Nightingale. Before she could say anything at all, she is distracted by Stokely Hathaway and attacked by Chris Statlander. This feud is not over, guys. Hathaway says Statlander wants an eliminator match next week for the title and to let them know before walking away. So are we all on board with this feud continuing? I think we all thought this was going to continue on, right?
Yeah,
I think it's going to end at All In.
Yeah.
That's what I think it's coming down to.
Why make it an eliminator match? Just say we want a title shot next week.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of this eliminator match stuff.
I hate eliminator. You've heard my rant on this before. I hate them.
Yeah, they could just say, we want to face you next week. And then
Okay, it would make sense if it's like once every 3 months. But when you do one every 2 weeks for whatever title, then it doesn't have any appeal.
Suzuki did motion capture for Tekken. Yes, he did. Yeah, for the original Tekken, if I'm not mistaken. Murder Grandpa is 56. Wow. I believe it. He's been around a long time. long time. So that makes sense.
But I think that they should have forget the eliminator match. You don't need to say it's the eliminator match. You can just she beat Willow. She deserves a title shot.
On top of that, why would they run an eliminator match on Dynamite instead of in CMLL? Where the belt is the
this is what they should have
more
done.
valuable.
This is what they should have done. They should have just had their match next week. Have Willow lose, and then Stat is like, I want you at All In for the title.
Yeah, and Willow's like, well, you did beat me, so okay, let's do it.
Or have the match and have it end with some kind of disqualification, and then have Willow say, I'm not satisfied with that. I challenge you at All In.
Yeah.
Either one of them. Two classic storytelling ways to do it.
That would be better.
I
than
don't like this
eliminator
eliminator thing all the time.
You know what? The tag team, the Eliminators, are going to show up one day, and they're going to kick somebody's ass for this.
Just wait till Kronos comes with that 450 splash.
I will say,
You'll all be in trouble.
The Eliminators high-low, such an amazing finisher. I loved it.
Oh, yeah. It was a great team, for sure. Great team. Earlier in the day, there was a sit-down interview between Bryan Danielson and Renee. It was interrupted by Jeff Jarrett. Man, Jeff Jarrett is fire here lately with his microphones.
He's gone back like 20 years. Like, it is so awesome.
Tony Khan, if you don't have this guy at the booking table, get him there. Because he's doing some good stuff right now. Jarrett gives Danielson an inspiring pep talk heading into the match with Swerve Strickland at All In. It's like, if you're going to go all in, then go all in, says Jarrett. So, I mean, this is fire. I love this. Jeff Jarrett is awesome. I've always low-key been a fan of Jarrett, even when people hated him over the years. Always thought the guy had a tremendous mind for business and always was good.
He was only hated because he booked himself like everyone thinks the Bucks book themselves right now.
Right. This is true. This is true.
Jarrett is very diverse. He can play the heel. He can play the face, both equally. Like, and that's a skill.
Like, he can be serious. He can be comedic. Like,
yeah.
And he's friends with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah,
and you know what? You know what, Jeff? Tell her to go back to country because this pop stuff just don't.
Yeah, you all knew that, right? That Jarrett's legitimately friends with Taylor Swift.
Didn't he used to babysit her or something like that? Or
yeah.
Yeah, Taylor Swift used to babysit his kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently, like, his daughters are in, like, one of her music videos or something. Yeah. So
he's like, I taught her be with my baby tonight. That's what I taught her.
It's like, Taylor, I got a damn good song you need to hear, and it inspired her to go out and make a new record and make millions of dollars. Next matchup, we got Britt Baker defeating good old Hikaru Shida. And wow, I'm just going to say this was a sloppy match. These two were way out of sync. These two look like they barely knew how to wrestle in this match. I'm just being real here. This was not good at all. I don't know what you guys thought of it. I did not like this match. I thought it was awful. Let me get to what's going on afterwards, and then we can just talk about it all together. Mercedes comes out, says that Baker's victory was impressive. No, it wasn't. It was an awful match. Monet still won't face her at all in, and Camille pops out and attacks Britt Baker. And what's funny here is that Taz is like, wait a minute, that's clearly forgot her name.
Yeah.
It was like, that's Camille. So, guys, what do we think of the match and the debut of Camille, who's apparently going to be the muscle now for Mercedes Moné? I'll start with Canada F and Dry this time.
I've been big on saying that Britt Baker is not a great wrestler.
She sure as hell wasn't tonight.
No, and like she's had some good matches in the past, but she's clearly rusty as hell right now.
Yeah,
she needs to step it up. She's won me over in the past, but she's clearly rusty here, and she needs to step it up. Good for Camille debuting as Monet's muscle. Like, I could see a turn on Camille on her later.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Kind of like a Diesel Shawn Michaels thing.
Yeah. It's gonna happen.
So Camille will get a spotlight eventually.
All right. Lord Ryan Rich, wax poetic about Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker with the debut of Camille.
I think y'all are crazy. I thought this was a great match. I thought Britt Baker looked on point. I think Hikaru Shida looked sloppy. I feel like she messed up a lot of spots, especially that one of those towards the end before she got into the lockjaw. There was supposed to be like a motion kind of thing, and I feel like Shida botched it. And
takes two to tango.
Baker had to save it. Yeah, it takes two to tango, but if the person that's picking you up for the lift doesn't pick you up right, then there's not much you can do as the person being lifted to make it look better.
A good wrestler will make both.
Did she get off the ground properly, though?
I thought she did. But I don't know. I'm also a big Britt Baker stan, so that could be me too. But I think that for someone who's been gone for 9 months or whatever, I think that Britt Baker looks great in her first match back.
Now, let me ask you this, Ryan Rich. How many Miller Lights did you have prior to this match?
This is only my third.
Right. EVP Joe, what'd you think of this match?
Okay, so I'm going to attribute, I didn't think this was the best match, but like I said, it's Britt's first match in 10 months. And I'm also going to cut Hikaru Shida a little bit of slack because I feel like she's trying to figure out the legs of this new heel character. And that's hard to figure out sometimes on the fly. So I am willing to give this another go to see what happens. But for the post-match, it's interesting to see Camille. I completely forgot she had signed. I wasn't expecting her. Glad she's here. I could almost see them doing with Camille and Monet, Mercedes, sort of a HBK Diesel thing where you have the big muscle turn on the more technical person.
That's what they're going to do. Yeah.
I was this close to thinking that Jamie Hayter was going to come out and save her.
I never even think about Jamie Hayter during these shows anymore. I mean, she's been gone for so long. Nobody mentions her. It's like I kind of forget.
I think they're going to save her for All In. I think she may come in and save Britt, but I think it'll be at All In during the title match.
All right. Moving on, gentlemen, as another Miller Lite goes down the hatch.
Really?
We got the
Say no
patriarchy
lefties.
backstage. Christian Cage says Nashville hasn't earned the right to see him in person, so he's conducting his business backstage. Cage puts over their trios title win. Says Nick Wayne is in the Royal Rampage. Don't call it Rumble. Royal Rampage on Friday and has earned the right to speak. Nick Wayne says, or he's going to start speaking, but then he notices, and I had no clue this was Kip Sabian. I was like, who the hell's this weird looking dude back there? This douchey looking dude with this facial hair. Like, I did not know this was Kip Sabian. I was like, who is this guy? It kind of looks like Kip Sabian spliced with Jeff Jarrett from like 1999.
Definitely his dyed white gray hair does not match the jet black mustache that he has.
He looks like a god dang silverback gorilla.
It's very interesting, but anyways, Wayne says he's going to throw Sabian out of the Royal Rampage, and for some reason says no one cares that your dad is dead. Suck it up.
He's trying to be a Christian.
Everybody's talking shit about dead relatives around here. Like, what? We got to tone this down, guys. Like, what is going on here?
We need a dead relative Royal Rumble.
Only if you have a dead relative can you be in the Rumble.
Yeah,
dead relative Rumble.
No, I thought it would be like us. The dead relatives are the ones in the ring.
Oh, the actual corpses are in the ring.
Talk about Weekend at Bernie's.
At the end of the match, there would just be like femurs and shit laying all over the ring.
You got to have the other wrestlers do all the things for them, like it's an improv show.
Yes.
And like then you can really Weekend at Bernie's it up, guys.
All right, the next match we've got Pac defeating Boulder of the Iron Savages. Now, this was obviously a squash match, but it's kind of weird. Like, if you're gonna do a squash match for Pac, why are you gonna have him like squash a guy that's like twice as big as him? That just seems kind of weird to me.
When he's obviously gonna lose the international title match to MJF in like a week.
And this dude from the Iron Savages, like, I mean, it's like Wish.com Otis. I mean, that's basically what he's doing. Otis is a looking gimmick.
I know.
You notice,
I loved them when they were Bear Country. I loved them when they were Bear Country.
Do you notice Otis is looking more and more like Earthquake lately?
No.
His hair started to.
Hey, Earthquake was badass, man.
Yeah.
Like, I love John Tenta.
Yeah, John Tenta was the man.
Does anybody have anything to say
Canadian
about
hero.
this? Like, do you guys want to comment on this match? I mean, there's not really much meat on the bone here.
I don't understand. Like, I thought they would have had him like cut a promo afterwards or something. Like, came out, wrestled for 2 minutes, and then just walked away. Like,
I thought at least he would have took him to Titty City.
He started to, and Pac, I think, just kind of no-sold it.
Lord Rich, do you have anything else you want to add?
It just doesn't make sense. That's it.
Would you touch Boulder's titties?
Hell yes.
Well, would it require more Miller Lite, or could you do it completely sober?
I can do it 100% sober.
All right.
Now, would you put your lips on the titties?
That might require some Miller Lights. Well, this is After Dark, gentlemen. We are not PG around here, all right? You're grossing poor Tiffany out. She's like,
ew. Now, Tiffany, you have no right to say ew because you have a crush on some of the nastiest old men in wrestling. She has a crush on
the guy she has a crush on, Don Callis.
Yeah, Don Callis and
I've seen her say that.
The old Road Warriors manager. What's his name?
Oh, Paul Ellering.
Yeah, she's like
100 years old, Tiffany.
Yeah, like
Jeez.
come on. Talk about wrinkled balls.
He was a stud back in the day, though.
I'm sure he was.
Back in his prime, like he looked like one of the Road Warriors. He was jacked.
But Tiffany likes him how he is.
All right. Well,
I'm trying to set her up with a nice guy like who's the short fellow in WWE?
Hornswoggle?
Yes, Hornswoggle. I think that they are both short. They would complement each other.
Yeah. Swoggle. Yeah. That's an interesting image, but all right.
Tiffany Swoggle, right?
Yeah, there you go. It's got a bit of a ring to it, for sure. We got Mariah May defeating Caitlin Alexis. All right.
The local enhancement talent.
The local enhancement talent here. Caitlin. What kind of name is that? Caitlin.
Where do you go to get all your Kates from? You go to Kate.
Yeah, it's like
can we take a little
Kate
side
lives?
quest here real quick? Can I
What's
talk about this whole don't say the word jobber and how it means? Like, you realize, like, I'm a kid of the 90s and that's all I heard in wrestling was they were jobbers.
Hell, they had a team called the Job Squad.
The Job Squad.
Yeah, like
no, but I agree with this.
Okay.
I agree with Dustin. That is disrespectful. You don't know that. Let me finish and then I'll let you rebuttal. We are not insiders. We are not wrestlers. So we do not have the right to call people jobbers.
I
disagree. That's a way that they used to say it.
A jobber is literally the verb of doing the job. When you job, you are a jobber.
And there's a Bobby the Brain Heenan used to call them ham and eggers.
I think this is my personal opinion. I think pro wrestlers get way too sensitive about stuff like this. I mean, you don't hear actors going around saying, "Oh, what? You don't talk about ad-libbing. What do you know about improvisation?" You know, like I don't know. It's kind of douchey to me, but
well, they also don't get
part of the culture.
They also don't get up in their tights if they know they're gonna lose in the story either.
I mean, it's
I'll tell you what, if anything, what wrestling fans should stop using is the word bury, because they clearly don't know what that word means in terms of wrestling.
I just don't like wrestling fans acting like they are insiders and talking like
I don't really consider that an insider term, though.
No, but these are all insider terms.
But it's different once WWE made a group called the Job Squad.
Yeah, that was the whole joke.
All they did was lose. It's no longer an inside term. It's just mainstream vernacular.
Yeah. Do you go to your local butcher shop and like use terminology involving the slicer, and they're like, "Oh, you can't use butcher terminology? What's wrong with you?" I don't know. I just think wrestlers are too sensitive about this kind of stuff. That's just my opinion.
I understand it, but the business brought it up. Yeah. So once the business brought it up, then you can't go back and be like, "Oh, well, no."
You can't put the genie back in the bottle. That's for sure.
Precisely. That's not how.
So.
No, I think that they're asking, please call us enhancement talent. I think it's respectful to
if they say that, sure. Yeah. Like if someone who is an enhancement talent is like, look, which I mean, to be fair, Dustin is at this point an enhancement talent. If he says, call me an enhancement talent and not a jobber, I don't like jobber because I've heard it used as a pejorative over the years. I understand.
Let's be real here. Is that Dustin Rhodes is speaking from experience that he's getting called a jobber now because he's not winning anymore.
I'm sure. He's also a multi-millionaire, presumably, too. So.
Like, what are we supposed to call him? Because you know what? He's not enhancement talent. And to me, an enhancement talent is a local indie person who's there just to lose, not Dustin Rhodes.
That's a good point. Yeah. And the enhancement talent, the local enhancement talent, is getting on television and having the night of their life.
And it's more like they're enhancing their talent. They're not.
They love
it. Look at Swerve's match versus him. He was there to enhance Swerve.
Yeah.
So that night he was enhancement talent.
I mean, hell, you could use that argument and say that anybody that loses is an enhancement talent in any match. Right? I mean,
well,
you're putting somebody over.
If you use that logic,
you can get something out of that in the loss and become bigger.
Yeah. Well, we're getting into the weeds of wrestling.
We're getting into the nitty-gritty of it all.
But you know what? That's okay. You know what? At some point, I want to have like a special debate show, and I'll be the moderator, and I'll find two people that have like diametrically opposing views. Like maybe I'll choose like I don't know, Joe Graham versus Alex Haney, WWE versus AEW.
Well, we did do Rage in the Cage, me versus EVP, so we could have a different members in the Rage in the Cage.
And I would run it like a mock presidential debate. And
that's the idea.
I think that's something we're going to have to try to work out at some point, because I think that would be highly entertaining, especially in this political season here in the U.S.
I mean, I'm someone who just likes to argue in general, so
it'd be better than the first presidential debate, I'm sure.
The only thing I didn't like about our debate, EVP Joe, was that they weren't scoring it properly. They were scoring it to keep it even.
Yeah, it definitely felt that way.
Yeah. If I did it, there wouldn't be a score.
Yeah.
Like the audience would have to choose who in their mind won. Yeah, we don't. It's not a game show, guys. It's
This is
serious
real life.
discourse.
This is real life, Vince. This isn't about the WWE title.
This
Remember
is
that Owen promo?
this company who has people play fighting in underwear is better than this company who has people play fighting in underwear. Okay, this is serious stuff. All right, it's serious stuff, and we're going to hear better dialogue than what we had here in the first Trump Biden debate. I'm sure.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
Did you hear that Trump has canceled his debate with Kamala Harris?
Why not? I don't need. There's no need for it.
Well, he's saying I'm suing her because I've been preparing for Biden.
Well, see, I had heard today that they were preparing possibly 3 more debates with her, but I don't know.
There's always stuff.
If I am the DNC, I'm not letting Kamala Harris near a debate stage. Not one.
See, the thing, well, I don't want to get too in the weeds about this, but my personal line of thinking here is you could literally just stick Donald Trump in front of a microphone and just let him spew nonsense and not even say anything, and it would help you.
Yeah, just have Kamala Harris fact check. Well, we have here. Says here, Wikipedia. Blah, blah, blah.
Because he just gets up there and
he's got enough skeletons in her closet. She doesn't want it brought up anyway.
I know. Okay, she does. Yeah, to be fair, Trump has like a dump truck of skeletons. And, he'll get up there and his whole shtick is just like, I was the greatest of all time. I had the greatest economy of all time. She had the worst economy of all time. I'm the greatest man of all time. Like he just spews out this anecdotal shit with like nothing to back it up.
Hey, so that
Eric says if it's American beer, it's like water.
Piss water.
And it's like beer, so hey.
It's like in Grand Theft. To pivot from politics here, let's go to a more serious topic. In Grand Theft Auto, the beer brand that they have in it's called Piss Washer. Like you have the radio station on when you're driving around, you steal some old woman's like buggy or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like, come on down and get you a big old glass of American Piss Washer.
How great is that radio station?
I love the radio stations on GTA.
You just drive around listening to the radio.
All right, getting back on topic here, gentlemen. Tony Storm's music hits. Before the match, it was a fake out by Mariah. But after the match, after she beats the enhancement talent.
Yes.
All right. Tony Storm appears. She runs in the ring. She has a mask on. She takes it off. Looks like a crazy woman, as usual. And they start brawling until security separates them. So it's the first time we've seen Tony Storm since the big betrayal, the bloody betrayal a couple of weeks ago. And this is building up to a match at All In, which I think is going to be fantastic. Do any of you have any comments about this?
Going for the 60s look now, or what?
What's that?
Is she trying to go for the 60s look here, or what?
I think it's just a little gradual evolution of her character. Yeah.
Like I'd like to see the 60s and the 70s, and then you get 80s by All In.
I loved it when Tony Storm was like, "Are you prepared to die?"
Oh yeah.
Prepare to die because I am.
Dude, I hope
All
for
right,
All
guys.
In she does like a Madonna type thing.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Comes out to like a virgin.
Hey, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah,
I'd kind of dig that personally.
with
I would
the
like that.
pointy bra.
Right, the cone brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. The old Madonna staple. All right, guys. It's time for blood and guts.
Blood and guts.
Let me run down the entrance here and whatever notes that are on here, and then we'll go around and talk about the match because there's obviously a lot to this.
Yeah.
So let's just do this little preamble here. Entrant number 1 was Jack Perry. Number 2, Darby Allin. Number 3, Nicholas Jackson. Number 4, Mark Briscoe. Number 5, Matthew Jackson. Number 6, Anthony Bowens. Number 7, Kazuchika Okada. Number 8, Max Caster. Number 9 was nobody, but it was supposed to be Hangman Page. Number 10 was Swerve Strickland, who Hangman attacked on the entranceway in the head with a steel chair on the way to the ring.
Wait,
Blood and Guts
Tiffany
officially
goes.
begins with Swerve Strickland handcuffed on the outside. Rich went to fart in the next room. Is that true?
Nope.
He probably went to get another Miller Lite, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Listen,
Jeez.
if I
And if he farted, so be it.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, when you're on a podcast and you've got the mute switch, you just do what you got to do.
I had to let the cat out, to be honest with you.
Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, man. No judgments here. Just let it fly. Mute your mic. We won't hear you. We won't know the difference. So that brings us to the official beginning of Blood and Guts. Swerve is handcuffed outside. The EVPs, for some reason, chastise Page about getting in the ring, even though he's beating the shit out of Swerve. I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, why are you mad? He handcuffed the guy and is beating him up. I don't know. Anyways, Jeff Jarrett and Billy Gunn come to ringside to cut Swerve free, which allows him to enter the cage. After cutting it open, Jack Perry is chained to the cage. Darby Allin covers him in gasoline, and he's going to light him on fire. Now, I think this would have been cool if he'd been like, it's real fire, deal with it, and then just... He says he's going to light him on fire if he doesn't agree to a TNT title match at All In. Perry refuses, but one of the Bucks says that's enough. We got to end this. Matthew, I can't ever tell them apart. So I got to defer to the Bucks expert here, Mr. Joe. They surrender and give him the match at All In, and that's the end of this bloody affair that involved barbed wire. It involved tables. It involves staple guns aplenty, chairs, a big suitcase. I mean, everything.
Back on a skateboard.
I wish they had a literal kitchen sink because they had pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I love a violent, gory, chaotic, fun match like Blood and Guts. This is right up my alley. Like, I love this kind of shit. I thought this was fantastic. Very entertaining.
Haney would have freaked out if this happened.
I thought when he was crawling under the ring, that's what he was going to come out.
I thought he was too. I thought he was getting the flamethrower.
It should have been the flamethrower. I think it would have been so much better than the little rinky dink lighter that he had.
Right.
Like, that'll make you quit. Someone's coming at you with a flamethrower.
Absolutely.
Can't F and dry. Give us your assessment of Blood and Guts.
I obviously I love this. There was a few things that bothered me a little bit, like you mentioned, Hangman getting yelled at. You get in here, you're fired. I'm like, okay, he's beating up Swerve. That makes sense, yeah. Maybe they could have had him walking to the back now.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. Yeah.
Look, the whole thing. Sorry to cut you off, but the whole thing is we made a deal. You're not getting in the ring, fulfilling in your part of the deal.
Yeah, but he was still beating up his opponents. So I thought
matches can't start till everyone gets in the ring.
Yeah.
I guess that's or they just wanted to get locked in so they could have the 5-on-4 advantage.
But I can overlook
what I would
that.
say.
I can overlook that. I liked Jay Briscoe in this thing. He was
Mark.
he was awesome.
Mark
Mark
Briscoe.
Briscoe, not Jay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, Mark Briscoe.
Mark just went crazy with the J drillers.
Yeah. That's why I said that. Yeah. The J drillers. That was very cool. I also didn't like during commercial break. We had Hangman and Swerve written out of the show by going into the I didn't even see it.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I just
Yeah, neither did I.
I didn't like them being written off at all. They should have been a part of the ending.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
Yeah. They just said during commercial, Hangman and Swerve were thrown off the stage.
Just thrown off the stage. During the picture, Swerve Strickland left and said he was going to go to Burger King, bitch.
He's like, I want it my way at Burger King.
And he's not coming back anymore. I'm just going to start doing a ski-a-vone every week of some variety. Which, he's been killing it here lately with commentary. The commentary was crazy tonight.
Yeah.
Taz is just like, we got Bob Wyatt Jones here. This little one-liner.
They also, I want to give them props. They did really good with pacing out the commercials.
How many pictures did they? Picture. How many else did they have during Blood and Guts? 3? I counted at least.
They had 3. They had 3, but they did it pretty good. They paced it out well. You didn't miss much. I think they did the best out of all of them on this one.
EVP Joe. Give us your thoughts on Blood and Guts.
So I enjoyed most of this. I don't understand why they're trying to make me have sympathy for the bad guys at the end of this. Darby is supposed to be the hero, but yet he's the one acting like a piece of shit, sitting there saying, "Oh, I'm gonna light someone on fire." That. If I was in charge, I wouldn't have booked this match to end like that. I didn't like it. It sort of just took me out of the match. You're literally having Matthew, who's, of all people, it should not be Matthew Jackson, who is the voice of reason. It shouldn't be him.
Right.
But I mean,
it should be because we guessed it right.
Yep. I guessed it the same way that one of the Jacksons was going to be the one to quit.
But I liked all the spots, all the thumbtacks, the barbed wire, the skateboard, the kendo sticks. I mean, the only thing I wasn't too big on the visual at the end of it looking like Jack Perry is strung up on a cross. I've never really been big on that kind of visualization in wrestling, especially then going and covering him in gasoline, pretending you're going to set him on fire.
A little risque, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
I didn't think about it like that, but it really is. And they also did the Raven Tommy Dreamer thing of the open chair shot with the hands cuffed.
Yeah, that could. Yeah. Please don't. There's no need for that.
Yeah, I was like, oh god.
I feel like Mark Briscoe wasn't supposed to do that. I'm pretty sure clear headshots are a no-no, everywhere.
Yeah.
Jack Perry said, "Do it."
It's a real chair. Deal with it.
It's real steel. Deal with it.
But yeah, that was essentially Raven Tommy Dreamer. That's what they did. When Dreamer was cuffed to the cage.
There's a little difference on when it's in a cage because they did it with Swerve too.
Yeah. So, Lord Ryan Rich, wax poetic, my friend.
I thought the match was really fun to watch. I don't agree with the ending as well. I don't even think Team AEW should have won. Canada Dry, you might have won the titles because that's who I had picked for tonight. I had Team AEW. I had the Elite. I think that it made more sense.
Team champions, yeah.
Well, on top of that, how do you have Darby Allin in a match and you don't throw him off the friggin' cage.
Instead, you throw Anthony Bowens through tables.
Uh,
I mean, okay, cool, but like every single time they've thrown someone off the top of the cage, and you have Darby Allin who doesn't have a title, who doesn't have anything he has to do, he's just sitting there. Like I don't know, I didn't like it. I didn't like how I like the match itself, but I don't like how
Anthony
the
Bowens
thought
was
process
respectable in
with the
this.
entire thing.
I gotta say, Anthony Bowens, he was respectable in this.
No, he was great. It's not. It doesn't have anything to do with their performances at all. I just don't like how it was booked.
Do you know, really quickly, sorry to interrupt, really quickly, Max Caster was invisible.
Because he sucks.
he was the worst person in this match for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I liked Darby's coffin drop from the top of the cage.
And he still almost missed it.
Yeah, it came close to it. Yeah.
I was worried that he landed on his neck or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna fold himself up.
Like, my guy, you could have just jumped off the side of the cage to the table and been a lot safer than scaling the roof. And
I know. I found that entertaining.
I mean, it was too, but I'm talking from a safety perspective, like being safe.
Can't F and dry.
I already gave my thoughts.
Did you give your thoughts? Okay. We got all four, right? I gave mine first. Yeah. Okay. All right, gentlemen.
Is that Miller Lite number 5 there, Rich?
Is that Miller Lite number 5, number 4? Okay.
4 to match the 4 horsemen, baby.
Yes. I still think you had something hard before that women's match, but yeah.
Or as you said, Vader time.
Live long and prosper.
Yes. I love that.
I was watching some this is a completely unrelated, but since we brought Vader up, the New Japan app finally updated and they added all the old archival stuff back that they had taken off when they first switched over to a new app. And I randomly, I don't even remember who I looked up. I think I looked up Sting just to see what kind of matches he had out there. And I randomly found this WCW New Japan crossover show from like 92. And Vader was on it and he wrestled. Remember we talked about El Gigante, Giant Gonzalez?
Yes.
He wrestled Giant Gonzalez in a New Japan ring.
Wow.
I watched that earlier. I was like, I didn't know this match existed. I'm going to watch it.
Was it as bad as Giant Gonzalez and Undertaker?
No, this was a lot more serviceable than that. I mean, Giant Gonzalez looked like a fish out of water, but you know, he was respectable enough to put on a decent match. And of course, Vader just beat the shit out of him. So but it was fun to watch. Just a weird little side pivot there. But we are at the end of Blood and Guts here. It is time to go to the flower shop.
And the flower shop is brought to you by adorable Adrian Adonis. You can buy his shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees / Adrian Adonis.
Hell yeah.
So there, I did that for you.
Adrian Adonis. Speaking of Adrian Adonis and saying it like that, I was expecting maybe a call in from JFB. Have we heard from him? Do we know his whereabouts?
The thing is they have the Royal Rampage right after. So
oh, he's still at the show.
He was
still going.
That extra wrestling.
Yeah.
Real quick, before we go to the flower shop, can I rant about something that annoyed me on this show?
Ooh.
Go ahead, my man.
Max Caster in that backstage promo when he was talking to Swerve, like, oh, you want to get rough with the best wrestler in the world. I hate that he says that because no one believes that he's the best wrestler in the world. He's not even the best wrestler on his tag team.
That's like a heel thing to do too.
Yeah, like he's
claim you're the best when you're clearly not. I mean, that's a heel thing.
Also, like, tag team guys should not be saying that.
No.
Yeah. Individual wrestlers, you could try, but
now if you're the Mega Powers, maybe.
Yeah.
But not the Acclaimed.
Yeah. The best wrestler alive is what he has trademarked.
Yeah. Makes me
Okie dokie. All right, gentlemen. Match of the night, promo of the night, or segment of the night, and favorite holiday food, right? And your overall bell rating. Who wants to start?
I will, because I have an idea that I want to run past
Cat
you.
F and draw. Go ahead.
We make an AFW shirt that says the best wrestler alive. in the acclaimed colors.
Oh, jeez.
AFW, best wrestler alive.
Wait, what else would you put on? Like a giant scissor or something?
I don't know. I don't think we want to really.
No, you put jobber on the back of the shirt.
Oh no! In brackets, not a jobber.
I'll tell you, if there's anyone that I would want to rip off, I want to rip off Funaki when it's SmackDown #1 announcer.
All right, so obviously the match of the night is Blood and Guts. I think that's going to be a common theme.
Yeah.
But second, we'll say, and we'll put a second, okay? Second is Jericho and Suzuki. Best promo of the night is MJF. And my favorite holiday food. So this goes with this little story. Since I was a little kid, I wanted a pizza for Christmas.
Mm.
Now, a pizza under the tree. And my mom refused. You cannot get a pizza for Christmas. And a couple years ago, my boyhood dream had come true. I got a pizza under the tree.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
And my brother pissed me off because he ate a piece. He said, that was my boyhood dream, damn it, and you ate it.
And what's your star rating?
My star rating for this, I'm going to go 4.59.
Gentlemen, we do bells here, not stars. Okay?
That's
We're
right.
not Dave Meltzer. Right? We're not giving it 7 stars.
Wait, we get balance.
No 7 stars until all in, okay?
Yeah.
EVP Joe, you're up.
Okay, so my favorite match is obviously the Blood and Guts. I don't really have a second favorite match because everything else just kind of paled in comparison for me.
There was like 4 matches, and 2 of them
Yeah.
were like squashes.
And 2 of them were squash matches. My favorite segment, I'm going to go with Jeff Jarrett and Danielson, their little backstage interview thing. That was
Ooh.
definitely a different tone to it, which was nice. So my meal is kind of like Canada Dries, but ever since me and my wife, we have our son and our daughter, every Christmas Eve, our traditional meal is a pepperoni pizza.
Nice.
So we do
Nice.
that every Christmas Eve.
Awesome. Good deal. We got a lot of love for pizza here on Christmas. Very nice.
Pizza,
And did you give your overall bell rating?
4.25.
4.25.
Good show. Nowhere not as good as last week, but you know.
Lord Rich, what about you?
Segment of the night, MJF. Match of the night, pretty obvious. Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida. As far as my food,
This was your category.
You think you had it?
It's like, guys, you really stumped me on this one.
Sorry, guys.
no, there's just so much good food. I'm gonna go with deviled eggs at Thanksgiving
Okay.
because I just love them. I just love them. And my star rating, I don't know. I thought it could have been better, but it's still high quality. I give it a 4.
All right.
Let me just say, I agree with Tiffany. Do we have to eat freaking turkey at Christmas? Do we have to eat ham at Christmas? Same old stuff. I'd rather have a big old sirloin steak, T-bone.
Same old stuff. I eat ham twice a year. I have pizza 83 times.
No, I'm talking like you get a nice ribeye and
Talking about something different.
Honestly-
Like I eat pizza all the dang time. I might as well be a teenage.
I don't have to eat ribeyes, huh?
Usually, honestly, like for Christmas, we usually go to my brother-in-law's house and we'll have like a ham, but we also have lasagna.
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah.
That's good.
Lasagna at Christmas. Garfield loves it.
Lasagna, pizza. I will take any of that for Christmas.
Actually,
I don't care. I don't care if it's traditional or not.
Yeah, I make my spaghetti for my wife's side of the family a lot of the times when we get together for Christmas.
What was your bell rating, Rich? Just 4.
Yeah. So for me, obviously, Blood and Guts was the match of the night. The other one would be Jericho Suzuki. And the segment of the night, got to go with MJF. I thought that was a great promo to start the program. My favorite holiday food, God, you guys have got me thinking about like non-traditional stuff now, but I'm going to go with a dessert. All right. My grandmother, and she makes this a lot of times just because she knows it's my favorite. Now, I'm one of like, I don't know, like 8 grandchildren or something like that.
So you're saying you're her favorite?
And she makes this for me, right? For me. Hot fudge cake.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
It is.
Your grandma is a superhero.
Yes. She's an amazing woman. She just turned like 85, I think.
And she's still doing this.
Mm-hmm.
She
makes me hot fudge
she is
holidays.
the number one badass grandma is what she is.
Yeah. She's amazing.
She's murder grandma.
She's murder grandma.
Murder grandma.
Beat her ass. But yes, I will go with my grandmother's hot fudge cake as my favorite all-time holiday food. And my bell rating, I'm going to go 4.25. I think this was a really good show. Very entertaining. You know, Blood and Guts is always going to entertain me. It's going to tickle the funny bone in me. It's going to appeal to my lizard brain. I just don't care about like technical wrestling at that point. I just want people to bludgeon each other and blood to fly everywhere. So 4.25 for me.
You have to try really hard to mess up a Blood and Guts or like a war games match.
Absolutely agree. I mean, it's just about always it's gonna be up my alley no matter what. So what's our average?
Our average is 4.2725.
Excellent.
I don't think AEW has ever had a stretch of such good Dynamite shows.
Yeah, this
on a
was
good
like
run.
4 in a row.
They're a good run right now. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And I'm glad to see it because I personally felt like they were in a pretty big slump there for a while.
And that last collision you guys are talking about, that had a really good number.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It did well in the ratings.
I just get the audio issues fixed, please.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be better this week. All right, Can F and Dry, I will turn it back over to you for the ceremonial closing festivities.
All right. On behalf of the FN expert, I happen to EVP Joe and Lord Ryan Rich. I am Canada F and Dry. And I just want to tell you that it's okay to be down. It's not okay to stay down. Like things happen, circumstances happen, rough stuff happens in life. It's not a smooth ride. It's a bumpy ride for sure. But you got to reach out to your family. You got to reach out to your friends. Go to church. Do whatever you need to do. But lift yourself up. Dust yourself off. Put one foot in front of the other. Raise your fist in the air and put the devil in a sharpshooter and say it with me. Just keep fighting.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, fnwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.